Hey, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever time it is that you're catching up with us here at the On the Gun Line YouTube channel. I'm glad you came by. I am Lopez, also known as D-Lo or D-Lo the Vet Bro, depending on what you're watching. And I'm glad to have you here. Today, I'm going to go ahead and bring you a brand new word on the streets. And with that being said, today's word on the streets are going to be the following. We're going to talk about yesterday, a sheriff out of Bexar County, which is here in Texas, San Antonio, where I live at the DNC, and what he had to say regarding the border and how quickly things change, within a year or two. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about something that I found really honestly, it's pretty. I got to give a shout out to Theo Vaughn, man. Shout out Theo Vaughn. You are crushing it, my man. This guy not just had Bernie Sanders on last week, but this week he had none other than former President Donald Trump. And to me, this is a big deal because Theo Vaughn is someone who I can relate to, being that he seems like just a regular cat off the street. You know what I mean? Just your regular average person. He doesn't have this hoity-toity fucking demeanor about him, like he thinks he's better than everybody. He's just somebody who I think will walk up to you and just have a conversation with you out of nowhere. And I think he really represents where a lot of Americans are today, as far as like with his questions that he asked Donald. And dude, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that when we get there. All right. So on the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be this dude. His name is Sheriff Salazar. Again, he's out of San Antonio here in Bexar County. It's pronounced Bexar County. All right. Not Bexar, not Bihar. It's Bear. All right. It's just a Texas thing. It's the X, baby. It's a Spanish thing. Anywho, so we're gonna go ahead and listen to what he had to say last night, and let's see what we think. All right, let's go ahead and give you this quick word on the streets about this dude. But before we do that, do me a quick favor. If you made it this far, can you just hit that thumbs up and then also hit that subscribe? And then hit that notification bell to all, so you know when I drop some new content, whether it's going to be a word on the streets, or it's a Vet Bro reaction, or if it's the podcast where I do an interview, or if it's when I go live. The live has been getting hot. I've been enjoying that. We're growing, and I can't do what I do without you. Also, if you notice, I am sitting a little more comfortable now because honestly, I'm tired of sitting on that fucking chair, and my fat ass keeps making it drop lower. So I'd rather just sit comfortable with everything I need right next to me. Without further ado, I bring you the new word on the streets with Sheriff Sanchez out of Bexar County. Let's see what you got to say, Sheriff.
On the other side of the border, the traffickers, they pack migrants into 18-wheelers like cattle.
They do.
50, 100 at a time. Then they seal the doors. That's when the 911 calls come. We hear them, desperate, terrified, gasping for air. Now, sometimes we get there in time. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we can't.
I've seen it on the news here. It's true.
When Donald Trump comes down to Texas,
here we go,
stands next to officers in uniforms just like mine, he's not there to help us. Don't think that, not for a second. He is a self-serving man.
So my first question is going to be, he's gone down there and he's spoken with, the border patrols and the local governments that are along the border. San Antonio is not a border city, but a lot of the trafficking does come through here or up here. You know what I mean? This is like a main hub for human trafficking here in San Antonio. But I will say he has been to the border, kind of like when Obama did that mic drop on the tweets where he said You're going to go down as the worst president in history. And and Obama said, but I will go down as a president. And mic drops. Well, I'll say this. You say that he goes to the border just to self-serve whatever his photo ops per se. Um, but he has been to the border, unlike the current administration.
I mean, look, just like when he killed the border bill, he just made our jobs harder. Now, Kamala, on the other hand, has been fighting border crime for years.
When was the last time she was at the border?
She's gone down to Mexico and worked to stop the traffickers. And when the traffickers didn't stop, she put them in jail.
Where? We need this fact checked. I'm not a fact checking type of cat, but I just want to know where. Where does she do this? In Mexico? Because she has no authority to lock anybody up in Mexico. And I think what you're saying here, big dog, while you're trying to be funny as well, you're joking. You look like Woody right now as you were fucking stumbling left and right. I'll be honest with you, big homie. You're not doing a service to anyone with the way you're speaking. You look like a fucking clown, and she hasn't done a fucking thing.
Now, down in my neck of the woods, we call that fooling around and finding out. I may be paraphrasing a bit.
This dude is a joke. Honestly, this dude is a fucking joke. He's my sheriff, and I'm embarrassed of this. It's a trip to me because people think San Antonio is a very big liberal city. That's going to be Austin. All right. San Antonio still has a lot of common sense. And I'll tell you, when I walk out and I go to HEB down the street around here and I'm wearing my my fight shirt or anything that's Trump related, Trump 2024 shirts, I get love. People will walk up to me like, hey, I like your shirt, or like, hey, hey, make America great, all that good stuff. And no, it's not just white people. I mean, those who have been or live out here in San Antonio know it's a very, 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 very brown city. I call it the New York of Mexicans, and just like Atlanta would be the New York of black people. And I guess LA would be the New York of illegals. I said it. Don't regret it. It is what it is. But anywho, Charlie Mike.
We protect them. Now, the border sheriffs that I know, right? And we're like Kamala. We protect and serve. We enforce the law. We show compassion. And we fight like hell to protect our border. Because as we've always known in Texas, cuando luchamos, ganamos. When we fight, we win.
The guy's a fucking joke. Sorry. Not sorry. The guy's a joke because I'm going to show y'all something that's going to be a little bit contradictory to what he just said. So let's go ahead and stop this cat for a second. I want to show y'all something else. So, not too long ago, actually it was in 2022, this very same sheriff happened to be on MSNBC. And let's see what he has to say right here.
Tell us about what you are asking for. What are your needs?
Well, right now, thank you for having me first off. Right now, what I'm asking for is for the president or a member of his administration that can make decisions to come down and talk to not just me, but at least 12 other Texas sheriffs from major counties in the state of Texas that are dealing with this issue firsthand.
And I'm wondering, did Kamala show up?
So I'd like to see somebody from Washington come down here, get boots on the ground, get eyes on the issue at hand, and then talk to us, a bipartisan group of Texas sheriffs that are really taking a common sense approach because we have to on this.
Again, so this was in 2022. And shout out to Rudy Velasquez. He's the one that put me hip to game on this because I haven't watched the DNC at all. I don't want to lose the brain cells that I have left. So this guy is a fucking clown. He's a joke, y'all.
So when you say you're taking a common sense approach and that you're not having federal assistance, what is that approach that you're taking and what is it that you need?
Well, we'd like to come up with something that makes sense. At present, and I hate to have to say this, at present, we've got a governor that's using this as a campaign stunt. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's a whole lot of money being poured into the border just for the point of just for the
to protect it.
stance of making a point to America, right?
The point that he was making was what? That he's protecting our fucking borders because the federal government refused to. The fact that we needed to put or implement something in order to mitigate the illegal migration that's happening. And let's not make it a racist thing about Latinos or brown people. Talk about what it is. It's the potential terrorists that are coming through, y'all. You know, and you guys ain't gonna say shit. You guys are gonna be the first ones blaming or criticizing the U.S. government for allowing once something happens, because it's not if it happens, it's when it happens. All right, when it happens, you guys are going to be the first one saying we should have done something better at the border, or you're going to be saying, oh, it's the policies that we have in the foreign countries that are causing these terrorist attacks here in the States. Mark my motherfucking words, guarantee you that's what's going to happen. This guy's a fucking clown.
They're putting these people into state prisons, creating a backlog in the jail system that affects Texas sheriffs, but also like busing these folks to Washington, D.C. and then dropping them at the figurative doorstep of the president. You're just doing that to make a point, and you're wasting resources in the process.
The point that it's obviously made people open their motherfucking eyes when they said we don't have a migration problem or a migrant problem, but as soon as it start being bussed out to Chicago, to New York, to DC, now people are realizing, oh shit, maybe we do have an issue. And what are we doing to go ahead and work on this issue? We're providing these people fucking EBT cards with up to $5,000. EBT cards with up to $5,000 fucking dollars. We've been fucking providing them a hotel room. How is that not a fucking bitch slap in the face to all Americans born in this country? Those who even served this country, some who even fought for this country, who are out there homeless and without any resources, but they're providing it to those that come here illegally. The key word, illegal entry. All right. No matter how you fucking try to flower it up and look at it through rose-colored lenses, at the end of the day, we're providing them now. We're spending our taxpayers' money on people who are coming here unwelcome.
Why don't you talk to some law enforcement officers that are handling this, and let us see if we can together come up with a basic, no nonsense approach to this situation that needs to be handled. You can't tell me that the immigration situation in this country is working just fine.
Nobody is saying that.
Sheriff, you've written 3, I understand, letters to the White House. Here's your opportunity to speak directly to the president and to the folks at the White House.
3 letters to Biden, huh?
Cameras are yours. What are you going to tell the president?
Mr. President, we need your help. With all due respect, the perception here, what I've seen in talking to other law enforcement leaders in my precious state of Texas, is the perception is that there's been a complete absence from Washington, D.C. Now, I know that you've got a whole world to protect and serve. However,
this is me reacting to this shit now. We don't have a whole world to protect and fucking serve. We need to protect and serve the people of the United States of a motherfucking America. Nobody else, not Israel, not Ukraine, not NATO. No, we need to protect. We need to fucking serve our people, not fucking the world.
Here down in Texas, we need your help. We need you here to talk to us and see if we can be part of the solution. Right now, what we're doing is we're allowing the state government to control that narrative, and maybe they're trying their best. I don't know. But at this point, the results that we're seeing are just not satisfactory. Clearly, we're dealing with over 50 people dead. That means the approach isn't working. And so we need the president's help to come down here and talk to Texas law enforcement, and let's see if we can't figure something out.
All right. And I'm going to leave it there with that dumbass right there. God damn, you're a fucking retard. You're the fucking sheriff who was voted in. That's unfucking fortunate, y'all. Good goddamn. Somebody, please replace that sheriff when it comes time to motherfucking vote. This is why it's important, y'all, to vote in your local fucking elections. It doesn't just have to be every 4 years for the dumbass presidents. All right. It's every time there's an election, you need to go vote, get involved, grassroots. I wish I could get involved. I really do. Unfortunately, the skeletons in my motherfucking closets, people would fucking eh, well, they let's just say my campaign would go, and I'm just being real, y'all. I'm just being real. So yeah, that is pretty much where we're at right there with this idiot of the Bear County Sheriff. Now we're gonna go ahead and move topics along to Trump and Theo, man. I'm telling you. Oh, one more thing before we close up on that. When they keep bringing up this bipartisan bill that was killed before it hit the floor or whatnot, it wasn't because it would make Trump look bad and Biden look good if they did something along with fixing the border, which that bill clearly did not. Maybe look into what was attached to it, as far as like if there was any money going to any other places that we shouldn't be involved in. I would say take a look at that and maybe make a decision, because when you're conservative, it's not just socially conservative, it's also fiscally conservative. All right? That's where the conservative comes from. All right? So anyways, just see what was attached to that bill, or in order to help fund the border. Where else were funds going? People want to play that narrative. Oh, it's just because they don't want Biden to look good. Nah, man. It's because maybe we don't want to fucking waste money on stupid shit that don't fucking matter to us. All right. Anywho, this next clip I want to play here for y'all is definitely with Theo Vaughn and President Trump, yo. So the word on the streets is that, I'm not even saying word on the streets. This is what I viewed. I saw the whole fucking the whole interview with Trump and Theo, and I'm telling you, they're dynamite. They are TNT. Get it? Trump and Theo, dynamite. We're TNT. Anyway, that was my whole Tulsi and Trump fucking song if they would have gone together. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. Check it. It was really cool seeing Trump coming onto Theo's, and it was a trip because I'd never seen Trump more real than when asked about his brother. You know what I'm saying? And about just certain things about his alcohol, and seeing people who were alcoholics. So I mean, it was just a trip, and it was a little almost uncomfortable, I would think, because I mean, for me watching it, because when I think of speaking with the president, I think of being putting like my best foot forward almost, or in what they say, code switching when you speak. Well, Theo was fucking Theo. The only thing that he changed was putting on a fucking sports jacket, or a fucking suit jacket. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. Other than that, I've never heard a president called bro, dude, homie, or just plain by his name, Donald. And I'll tell you what, it was a hell of an interview. And I'll just give you a piece of it that came up here, so you guys could check it out.
I just watched her performance today. So she went out and
Who, Kamala?
she lied about everything. She said, this Trump tax, that Trump tax, that Trump tax. He's going to tax this. He's going to tax all these different things. And I'm not going to tax them. She made it up. I'll tell you what, if she's the worst vice president ever.
Facts.
He's the worst president ever.
Facts.
A deadly combination. And we have a country where the borders are bad, where the world is blowing up. You look at Israel, you look at Ukraine, you look at all the different things that are happening.
Oh,
She has no clue. She's been there for 3.5 years. Why didn't you do it? All you have to do is say, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you fix it?
I'm gonna pause it right here real quick, because one of the homies put something up on their Facebook saying, to all you saying, why didn't they do anything for the past, or why didn't she do anything the last 3 years when she was the vice president? Well, it's because she was the vice president. You're right. She wasn't able to do anything in a form of passing any laws, however, or writing policy. But what she could have done was influence. And What's the definition of leadership according to the Army? To provide purpose, direction, and motivation, and be, by being able to, I forgot. I know there was influencing in there somewhere. But basically being able to fucking influence others into following your guidance. You know what I'm saying? Look, I've been out of the Army for fucking damn near 10 years, so I can't remember. Purpose, direction, motivation, and improve the organization. I forget. Anywho, but regardless, what I'm saying is, yeah, she could have done something, dog. She could have fucking talked to Biden and been like, hey, you know what, Joe? I don't want to seem like someone you just picked because I'm a fucking black female. Can I put some input on this? Can you let me speak? Is there any way we could maybe possibly do this or maybe possibly do that instead of just being a fucking empty suit following along with whatever the powers that be ask her to do? I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
And she won't talk to you, and she won't talk to anybody. She won't be interviewed.
She's welcome to come on. I would love to get to talk to her.
I'm sure she'd be very exciting. Actually, you could make her exciting.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody said she's a good roller skater. That's what I heard, which is crazy.
That's about it. I just watched her performance today, so
that's about it. Fucking Theo, man. I love Theo Vaughn. I've been watching him for a hot minute now, and honestly, I think that Theo is the new Rogan when it comes down to shit. Because Rogan, I think, as great as he is at having, different types of people coming on and discussing different types of things, I like the fact that Theo is more down to earth. I'm not saying that Joe Rogan isn't. I'm just saying we're just so used to Joe Rogan that I think it's time, or it's kind of soothing to see, or refreshing, I should say, to see someone new that's kind of like following his trail. So either way, I hope y'all enjoyed this word on the streets, y'all. This was my attempt at not trying to rebrand myself because I'm still going to be me, but I am going to be focused more on YouTube and trying to grow this channel. So if you like what y'all saw here, man, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, and make sure you tap in and comment. All right. That's about it. That's all I got for today. And if you do dig what I'm doing and you want to support the podcast, hey, PayPal, you can find me on thegunline@gmail.com, or you can cash at me, which is the money sign DEELOW 1977. I'm not monetized on YouTube yet, and I probably never will be because of what I discuss here. But if we could at least get the numbers growing, and I can show people that we are growing, I could possibly get more guests to come on here and have more open discussions. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, thanks a lot for your time once again. I'll catch y'all next time on Word on the Streets. And I'm out.